Xenophobia violence seems to be spreading among foreign nationals here.
Today marks an unofficial deadline set by the activists for all immigrants to leave.
They came out in their thousands for a day of xenophobic rage across South Africa.
The priority for many people here is to get onto a bus that will get them out of South Africa before the end of the month on Tuesday.
Before dawn, the streets are almost silent. A few shopkeepers are already awake, rolling up metal shutters, arranging bread on dusty shelves, and preparing for another ordinary day. Then, somewhere in the distance, a shout cuts through the morning air. It is followed by another. Within minutes, hundreds of people begin pouring into the streets. Some carry sticks, others carry stones. Phones are raised to record what is about to happen. Smoke starts climbing into the sky as terrified families rush to lock their doors. The businesses that took years to build are destroyed in minutes. For thousands of migrants living in South Africa, this scene has become a nightmare that has repeated itself for decades. The question is no longer whether another wave of violence will happen. The question is why it keeps happening. South Africa is often called the Rainbow Nation, a country that emerged from the darkness of apartheid with promises of equality, democracy, and reconciliation. When apartheid officially ended in 1994, millions believed a new era had begun. The world watched as long lines of voters cast their ballots for the first time regardless of race. It was a moment that inspired hope across the globe. Yet beneath that hope, another reality slowly took shape. Decades of racial segregation had left enormous scars. Entire communities remained trapped in poverty. Unemployment climbed higher year after year. Informal settlements expanded around major cities as families searched for opportunities that never seemed to arrive. At the same time, South Africa became a destination for migrants from across the African continent. People arrived from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Malawi, Somalia, Ethiopia, Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and many other countries. Some were escaping war, others fled economic collapse. Many simply believed South Africa offered a chance to earn enough money to support relatives back home. They opened convenience stores in townships, repaired mobile phones, sold clothing, and started restaurants. Some worked construction jobs, others became taxi drivers or street vendors. Many succeeded through long hours and careful saving. For years, these communities lived alongside South African citizens with relatively little attention. But as economic conditions worsened, frustration spread. Youth unemployment became one of the highest in the world. Millions searched for jobs that did not exist. Electricity shortages disrupted businesses. Rising food prices stretched household budgets to the breaking point. In neighborhoods where opportunities were already scarce, rumors began spreading that foreigners were taking jobs, accepting lower wages, or controlling local businesses. Whether those claims were supported by evidence often mattered less than the fact that many people believed them. Small tensions began appearing in everyday life. Arguments over customers, disputes over rent, competition between local and foreign-owned shops. On social media, misleading stories spread rapidly. Politicians sometimes blamed undocumented migration for wider economic problems. Community meetings became more heated. Every grievance seemed to feed another. Underneath it all, anger waited for a spark. That spark came in May 2008. It started in Alexandra Township near Johannesburg. At first, it looked like another local disturbance. Then the violence spread with astonishing speed. Crowds moved from neighborhood to neighborhood, attacking migrants from other African countries. Homes were looted, shops were burned. Families fled carrying whatever they could hold. Some hid in churches, others slept in police stations or temporary shelters. Television cameras captured images that shocked audiences around the world. By the time the violence subsided, more than 60 people had been killed, hundreds injured, and tens of thousands displaced from their homes. The attacks exposed a painful truth. The end of apartheid had not eliminated violence born from fear and exclusion. It had simply changed its targets. For many survivors, escape meant starting over once again. Some had already fled violence in their own countries, only to face another wave of terror inside the nation they believed would offer safety. Businesses built over many years disappeared overnight. Children who had finally settled into schools suddenly found themselves living in crowded refugee camps. Many wondered whether they should leave South Africa altogether. Others stayed because they had nowhere else to go. The years that followed brought periods of calm, but the underlying tensions never disappeared. Instead, they lingered beneath the surface, growing stronger whenever economic hardship intensified. In neighborhoods across Johannesburg, Durban, Pretoria, and other cities, foreign-owned shops often became symbols of resentment. Many of these businesses operated successfully because families worked together, kept long hours, and accepted smaller profit margins. Yet, to struggling residents, those same shops became visible reminders of opportunities they felt had been lost. Then came another turning point. In 2015, violence erupted once again, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal province and later in Johannesburg. Rumors spread rapidly through communities, amplified by speeches, social media posts, and word of mouth. Crowds gathered, businesses were looted, streets filled with smoke as police struggled to restore order. Thousands of migrants sought shelter in emergency camps. International headlines once again asked the same disturbing question: why was this happening again? The answer proved far more complicated than a single event or a single speech. Researchers studying the attacks found that no single factor could explain every outbreak. In some places, local political rivalries played a role. In others, criminal groups used chaos as an opportunity to loot businesses. Personal disputes sometimes escalated into community-wide violence. Economic frustration, misinformation, fear, and organized crime often overlapped until it became impossible to separate one cause from another. What appeared to be spontaneous anger frequently had deeper roots. As smartphones became common across South Africa, another force transformed the landscape. Videos of confrontations spread within minutes. False claims circulated faster than corrections. A rumor posted online in the morning could attract crowds by afternoon. Emotional images traveled farther than verified facts. Each new incident risked inspiring retaliation somewhere else, creating cycles of fear that extended well beyond the original event. Then the world changed again. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic placed extraordinary pressure on South Africa's economy. Businesses closed, jobs disappeared, families already living paycheck to paycheck faced even greater uncertainty. When restrictions eased, frustration remained. The financial wounds left by the pandemic added another layer to existing social tensions. Communities struggling to recover found themselves confronting many of the same questions that had never truly been answered. And for some, migrants once again became convenient targets for anger that had accumulated over years of hardship. The cycle, it seemed, was far from over.